We'll start, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Very much.
Yes, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to one and all present here. And thank you for showing interest and participating in our second day of our online international FTP program titled Critical Frontiers in Social Science Domain. And today's topic is Management of Emotions for Success in Career and Life. It is organized by the School of Humanities, Guru Nanak College, Autonomous, Velachery, Chennai. I, Dr. O. Nirmala, Assistant Professor, Department of Defense and Strategic Studies, takes immense pleasure in welcoming you all to this 5-day international FTP program. Before we begin, I request every one of you to kindly mute your audio and video to avoid interruptions. Thank you. With the blessings of Almighty, let us start our program with our college prayer. I request every one of you to join. Madam. Thank you. That was a wonderful start. May I invite our beloved and dynamic Vice Principal Shift 2, Madam, Dr. N.C. Rajeshri, to deliver her welcome address. Madam, please.
Thank you so much, Nirmala. It's a wonderful afternoon. I'm really happy to be here along with you for this 5 days FDP, and I've chosen a right topic and the right resource person for today's program. I welcome Professor Vd Swaminathan to this program, and like others, I am also eagerly waiting to hear to you, sir. Namaste. Welcome to Guru Nanak College program. And he is one person who is known in University of Madras, is a retired professor of psychology. I have met you once with Dr. Nirmala Prasad, sir. Once I have come to your cabin, long time ago. So thank you, and to receive you, it's really happy to welcome you for this. And a lot of good work has gone into it, sir. So the program conceived, and now it is in an executable stage because of all the efforts by the Dean of Humanities with her dedicated and commitment team of HODs and faculty members of all the schools under her. And it's wonderful to be here. And what more we are going to ask about management of emotion for success in career and life. Definitely, it's going to be an interesting one, and you will make it more interesting, sir. I know for sure. Welcome you, sir. I welcome our beloved secretary and correspondent, Sardar Manjit Singh Nayyar ji, and our ever helpful and never say no attitude principal, Dr. M.G. Raghunathan, all the school deans, dean of academics, deputy deans, controllers, joint controllers, and joint controller, and all the heads of the department of other departments also, because it is one topic which is very close to all of us. So I welcome you all, and more than that, the student friends, staff from other department, the entire Guru Nanak family. This is going to be a lesson for life. So I take this opportunity to welcome you all. At the end of this program, you will definitely be enlightened, and you will have a feeling that you have got something very important for life. So with these words, I welcome you all once again, and with folded arms, I welcome our resource person of today. Sir, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your warm words of welcome, and also for your continuous support in making this event a memorable one. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, may I invite Dr. K. Kulashekar, Head in Charge, PG Department of Defense and Strategic Studies, to introduce our eminent guest speaker, Dr. Vd Swaminathan, sir, Professor, Department of Psychology, University of Madras. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Nirmala. Good evening to all. It is my pleasure and proud privilege to introduce the resource person of today's Faculty Development Program, Dr. Vd Swaminathan. I had known Dr. Swaminathan for more than 3 decades, initially as a postgraduate student in the Department of Psychology, and then as MPhil scholar and PhD scholar in the same department at Madras University. He started his teaching career in the same department and progressively moved on to become the professor and head of the Department of Psychology at Madras University. My long sustained observation of Professor Swaminathan has left some indelible impressions of him. He's a voracious reader, very sincere and a focused academic personality. He's an erudite scholar and a progressive researcher who has adventurously ventured into new areas of research like biopsychology. He hails from a very learned family. His father was a legendary professor in the Department of Philosophy, and I remarked that he's an illustrious son of an illustrious father. Besides my personal impressions about Dr. Swaminathan, I think it would be appropriate for me to state few of his academic accomplishments. Dr. Swaminathan has successfully carried out 21 PhD research programs, and 42 MPhils have secured their degrees under his supervision. He has written more than 45 research articles published in several national and international journals. 16 of his articles written in Tamil has found a place in the Tamil Encyclopedia that has been published by the Tamil University at Tanjavur. Besides, he has published 2 books, Psychology for Effective Living, Behavioral Modification, Counseling, Guidance, and Yoga. This book has been co-authored with Dr. K.V. Kaliappan, another popular professor of Madras University, and this book has received the Best Book Prize in the year 2003. His other book is The Principles of Psychology in Women's Studies, Obstetrics and Gynecology. This book has been published by Madras University and was released by our former Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Manmohan Singh, in the valedictory function of sesquicentennial celebration of Madras University in 2007. He has also successfully carried out few minor projects and a major project in collaboration with the Department of Education and Statistics. And I'm very happy that a dear friend of mine is here today as a resource person, and I look forward, as all of you, very eagerly to listen to him and learn more about well-being. Thank you so much. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your brief introduction about today's distinguished speaker. You can control your actions and choices, but not the environment and circumstance. Here, we have the eminent speaker who is going to address the critical issues, which is the need of the hour, particularly this pandemic period. Without taking much of your time, I invite our guest speaker, Dr. Vd Swaminathan, sir, to address our audience. I also request the participants to reserve their questions. At the end, sir will be clarifying your doubts and will be giving you valuable suggestions. Sir, please.
Thank you. Respected colleagues, in fact, when I say colleagues, I mean authorities of Guru Nanak College and also senior as well as upcoming faculty members. Two things I'd like to clarify before I proceed. I wish to know at what time the session should come to an end. Professor Malati ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At what time the session is scheduled?
Actually, 4:15, 4:30, sir. 4:15, 4:15 we can finish it up, sir.
Sure,
Yes.
the session will come to an end.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now it's 3:30, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now the time is 3:23 by my digital watch. So till 4 o'clock, I think I will present, and
Sure.
the last 10 minutes we'll have interaction.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay. Second thing which I'd like to clarify from the organizers, especially Dr. Malati ma'am, I do not know how to filter the echo, because my voice is echoing. I get my voice back.
Yes, in two systems that you have opened, the same link, it seems, sir, so that the echo is coming.
Okay. I suppose this will not disturb the audience.
No, sir. No, it's not disturbing at all. It's not disturbing at all.
Okay. Now, let me thank the Vice Principal for the neat welcome address and Professor Kulashekaran for a wonderful introduction, making a direct reference to my father. In fact, I was overwhelmed when I was introduced with my father's name being quoted appropriately in the introduction. So my father and me and myself both thank Professor Kulashekaran for the wonderful introduction. Thank you, sir. And definitely Malati ma'am also has to be thanked, but for her I would not have got the opportunity to interact with you online. And Nirmala ma'am for comparing this program, and every other participant with whom I am going to interact till 4:15. So it is Management of Emotions for Success in Career and Life is the title. As usual, I'd like to begin with definitions of the key concepts mentioned in the title. Success is the first key concept that I'd like to introduce to you. Of course, all of us know what success is. It's a very relative term. It is not at all absolute.
Sir, can you pin it, sir?
Standard English dictionary, I got these words. It's a positive outcome on achievement of set of desired goals after sincere effort or efforts. So it is indeed a positive outcome, and success actually doesn't stop with just only one experience. In fact, it will go on and on and on. And even failure will have to be viewed as a success, because that is the stepping stone for success. Then career, it primarily refers to the sequence and variety of work roles, paid or unpaid, that an individual undertakes throughout one's life or till one decides to quit on some valid reasons. Emotion is a complex state of feeling that results in physical and psychological changes that influence thought and behavior. Management is, in one single word, defined as governance, which means utilization of resources based on an objective analysis for a definite purpose. This is how I'd like to define the key concepts which are mentioned in the title. Probably this is the vague theoretical framework based on which my inputs are going to be given to you. In fact, we categorize emotions broadly into two types. All of us know the first one is negative and it is destructive. And many of us know that three well-known negative emotions are anger, anxiety, and sadness, which becomes depression when the person gets into the chronic mode. It all begins with sadness, and then slowly and steadily that paves the way for depression. Whereas positive emotions are constructive, and there are many more than what I have merely mentioned on the screen. Satisfaction is one positive emotion. Happiness, joy, bliss, ecstasy, so on and so forth. Whether we experience negative or positive emotions, we should know how to manage them. Though positive emotions are always welcomed by all of us, sometimes when we go beyond the reasonable limits of experiencing positive emotion, probably that becomes a bit dangerous. Don't we say in Tamil, "Alavukku meerinal amridhamum nanju." So even positive emotions will have to be carefully managed. One or two instances I'd like to go here. Probably some of you may remember that in one of the international football matches, a key player posted a goal, and that marked the victory of his team. But unfortunately, after posting that goal and ensuring that his team has won the match, that person collapsed. How many of you know about it? I'd like to know from one of you, dear participants. Are you there with me? யாருக்கா தெரியுமா இந்த இன்சிடென்ட் நடந்தது? ஒரு இன்டர்நேஷனல் ஃபுட்பால் மேட்ச்ல ஒருத்தர் கோல் போடுறாரு, அவங்க டீம் ஜெயிக்குது. Immediately that person collapses. Does anybody know about this? Am I speaking to my own self?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One voice from the audience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember that particular news item? Of course, much water would have flown under the bridge. இது நடந்தது வந்து ஒரு almost a decade ago. This is one instance. Second one, some of you, if not all of you, know one comedian of yesterday decades by name Kuladaivam S. Rajagopal. He was a Villupattu artist also. And in fact, he suffered from an ailment from which he was recovering. And the ailment was a cardiac related ailment. And the cardiologists were not very happy with the progress in the beginning. So he was hospitalized. After that, he was discharged. Then he was asked to come for review at regular intervals. And on the last occasion, the cardiologist was immensely happy on seeing the tremendous recovery, shown by this particular individual, Kuladaivam Rajagopal. The cardiologist was so happy that he shook hands with the individual Kuladaivam Rajagopal, and he said, "Wonderful recovery you have made. Keep it up." In his return, he was also happily shaking his hand with the cardiologist. As he shook hands, he collapsed and he died. And the doctor கூட கணிக்க முடியல, அடுத்த நிமிஷம் he will die. So the happiness suddenly is injected into the bloodstream. In fact, it produces a lot of biochemical changes. In fact, there is one powerful neurotransmitter by name catecholamines. When catecholamines are secreted beyond reasonable limits, in fact, it's a vasodilator. The cardiac muscle will not be able to cope with the sudden change in the biochemistry of the system, and the individual says goodbye to this world. நான் பேசுறது கரெக்டா உங்களுக்கு புரியுறதா? Am I clear to you all?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Very good, very good. So that is why we say, அளவுக்கு மீறினால் அமிர்தமும் நஞ்சு. Now you understand the importance of managing positive emotions as well. Leave alone negative emotions, but positive emotions also have a limit beyond which it is quite likely to harm the system. Either the individual will collapse biologically, or may overstep his limits of decency, and his social interaction may start, actually suffering. The person may have some interpersonal conflicts because of poor management of positive emotions. What produces happiness, what gives either X or Y happiness, may not give the same amount of happiness to others. Therefore, psycho-social aspects of emotional management become very, very important. The key to success, if you ask me whether there is any key to success, yes, the key is available. The key is called sincerity. If you are sincere in your efforts, you can take it from me, the outcome is bound to be success. So, as long as we are sincere in our efforts, definitely we can be sure of the success. So, sincerity is what we need to promote in ourselves and also in others. Action speaks louder than words. Therefore, we should translate all our thoughts and words into action and we should lead our students by example. Instead of just talking about sincerity, probably when we are sincere in our professional service and also in all other spheres of life, definitely whoever with whom we interact will definitely get the lessons of sincerity. Then you may ask me whether intelligence has got any role to play. Yeah, of course. Intelligence is important, but more than the possession of intelligence, it is application of intelligence, which is what we need to highlight to our students, and also in our life as well as in career. We have to appropriately apply all the intellectual resources with which we are born and we develop over a period of time. So intelligence is converted into sincerity, which is the seed for success. How do we apply intelligence? There are so many ways by which we can think of application of intelligence, but for the time being, I'd like to restrict myself only to 5 aspects. The first aspect is self-analysis. Second is self-motivation. Third one is self-management. Fourth, empathy. Fifth and the last, social skills. We'll take up these 5 elements one by one. As long as we apply intelligence on the following lines, probably we will succeed in career as well as in life. Self-analysis. How many of you know about SWOT analysis? I think many of you, if not all. SWOT theriyumla? Hello? One voice.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. SWOT is expanded as strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges. Strengths and weaknesses are intrapersonal. They are in the internal environment, whereas opportunities and challenges are in the external environment. So first, we have to take stock of our strengths and also weaknesses. Besides, identifying opportunities and challenges that we have in career as well as in life. We should proceed in such a way that strengths are maximized, weaknesses are minimized, opportunities are made full use of for strengthening our merits and converting challenges into opportunities. I guess all of you know Tirukkural. There are 1,330 couplets. For those who do not know Tamil, I definitely come out with a rough translation of the couplet which I'd like to quote here. ஊழையும் உட்பக்கம் காண்பர் உழைவின்றி தாழாது உஞற்றுபவர். That means there is nothing called fate. You can conquer fate by being sincere. So even Saint Thiruvalluvar has highlighted the importance of sincerity. Swami Vivekananda has said in his own characteristic way that the word fate exists only in the lexicon of foods. So let us not put the blame on fate and keep quiet. We should try to convert each and every challenge that we face in life into an opportunity and see that we maximize our strengths and bring down the weaknesses. So self-analysis will definitely set the right tone for you to proceed upward and forward. Second one is self-motivation. And please remember this acronym, SMART. We should be smart enough to motivate ourselves. And the acronym SMART is expanded as specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. In fact, many of us, when I say many of us, I mean our students. When we were students also, we might have had this problem, but as we have become faculty members, somewhere I think we are able to manage ourselves in an effective way. In fact, always I say, இலக்கு இல்லாதவங்களுக்கு லக்கே இருக்காது. லக்குன்றது வந்து இலக்கு இல்லாதவங்களுக்கு தான். இலக்குன்றது கோல். In fact, our data reveal consistently just only less than 1% of the human population will have profound intellectual deficit. Even those who have intellectual deficit, well, they will have something to shine. In fact, every cloud has a silver lining. But that apart, the rest of the population, that is 99%, definitely will have higher intelligence, but no point in having just only intelligence. The way it is applied is what ultimately matters. For success, it is just not intelligence that is important, but motivation. If there is going to be a motivational deficit, automatically chances of being successful will come down. The probability of success will come down. So there should not be any motivational deficit. But sometimes when we interact informally with students, they'll say, sir, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, etc., etc. But all those goals will exist only on the paper. They don't translate each and every goal into meaningful action. That results in behavioral deficit. So there should not be either motivational deficit or behavioral deficit. Only when you start acting do we go somewhere near the goal region, probably achieve the goal also. So when we motivate our students, this is the acronym we need to follow. We should ask them to be specific in their goal setting. And when we set our goals, in fact, at 4 levels, we have to set our goals. Immediate goals, short-term goals, long-term goals, and lifelong goals. This is what I should do for now. Then this is what I should do in the first few months, probably the first quarter of a year. Then this is what I should do for the next 5 years. And this is what I should do throughout my life. So this is how we segment the goals on the lines of immediate, short-term, long-term, and lifelong. Just I would like to ask a question. One of you may answer. What will you do as soon as the session will get over today? One voice. என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க?
Not immediately, but end of the day or before I sleep, I will just reflect on what happened today and all the events that took place.
Very good. Very good.
Self-analysis.
Madam, self-analysis. Excellent. Do you do that, madam, very often?
Definitely, I'll do. I'm doing it, sir, very frank.
Very
End of
good.
the day, I think what happened today, what mistake I made, even if whether I'm able to correct it the next day or no, at least I'll come to know that, okay, this I could have done this better. So in future, if that happens, I'll try to do, okay, that
Thank
day we
you.
did like this, so we should not do that today. We'll try it in a different way. Like that, I do it, sir.
Wonderful. Please keep it up. This is what the father of our great nation, Mahatma, also used to do. He, kept reviewing his action every day. And as Madam said, the next day he will try to correct himself if he found anything wrong. Wonderful. So this is how we need to be specific in setting our goals and also proceeding with required action. And it must be set in such a way that it is measurable. For example, these are the 5 items on the agenda for today. These are the items on the agenda for this month. These are the items on the agenda for the present 5 years. These are the items on the agenda for my life. So, when you set your agenda, it must be done in such a way that it is measurable. Probably for academicians like us, we should resolve that this year I should produce at least 2 scholars. If you are guiding PhD scholars, with them I should publish at least 4 research papers in peer-reviewed journals, that too in the UGC CAD list. So, I mean, you should take stock of the reality, which is what I'm going to highlight in the next component, that is attainable. Something which is attainable is what you should note down for setting the goals. Attainability depends upon your ability and also ability of each and every individual with whom you are going to carry out that action. Realistic is pertaining to the external environment. Even if you are well set to achieve your goals, sometimes there can be deficit in the external environment. So you should analyze the external environment, and accordingly you should fix your goals. Then the last one is the most important one, time bound. Everything is time bound. Time and tide wait for none. In fact, all human beings, especially we, the Indians, will have to bear this in mind. I suppose all of you will bear with me when I come out with one general weakness that we Indians in general have got. Many of us lack time sense. Whenever we go abroad, our counterparts, especially in the developed countries, look down upon Indians as if we don't respect time. Oh, this gentleman never believes in punctuality. In case he is given an opportunity to address a gathering, he overshoots his time zone. So, in fact, once or twice, I did receive some pungent comments. Of course, not for my presentation, but for the presentation of fellow Indians. Then, with due respect to the chair, I had to bring down that particular aspect in such a way that it should not be generalized for the entire Indian population. So, we need to be highly time conscious. When we set our goals also, we should say that this we should do within this time frame. So we'll have to set the time limit. before which we should achieve the goals. So self-motivation is very important, and it is one of the key aspects of sincerity. Self-management. Self has got lot of dimensions, but I have taken only 3, of which one I have already said, time management. The first one is health. Health is wealth. The most important asset that we need to develop, we have to ensure is health. So we should have thorough knowledge pertaining to health, and we should have positive attitude towards health. And it is just not the knowledge and attitude that would matter, but whatever we know, whatever we think should be carried out in meaningful action. Shall I ask you one inconvenient question? How many of you are fond of eating junk food, fried items?
I eat, sir, every day.
Please exercise good control, man. The thing is, once in a blue moon, we can go for junk food, but not always.
Junk food is not homemade, like as you say, which is done on a daily basis. Maybe some chips or some biscuits, something. I'm not
Okay.
able to control. I wanted to control. I shifted to fruits, but even after eating fruit, I think I need to have at least a biscuit for some crunchy.
So I think you can very well, cut short some of the unnecessary, junk food.
Yeah.
Where there is a will, there is a way. I suppose you will be able to do that because you are conscious of it.
Sure.
Yeah. So as long as a person is aware of what one should not repeat quite often, I think that knowledge itself will keep the person in good stead. And one conscious effort will have to be taken to cut short that practice. Okay. Health is one important aspect. But now, finance is emerging as a more important aspect of self-management. Just because banks are giving us loan, kindly do not avail loan unnecessarily. I'm not able to repeat the words in verbatim. Kadan pattor nenju kalangodu pol. I think Ilangai Vendan. It comes in Kambaramayana, I guess. Those who have debts, are the ones who suffer maximally from depression. That too, my last PhD student is collecting data on suicide. And when we look at the data, my good heavens, we do not know where we are heading towards. Most of the cases contemplate suicide because their financial management is very, very poor. In case a person gets loan for some valid reasons, please see that the loan is actually reduced. The person starts living comfortably on clearing the debts. It is just not one single individual that matters. In fact, he had to share it with his family members, and all the family members will have to cooperate so that the financial health of the family improves. And this is one major source of producing negative emotions. Already I have told you about time management. In fact, when Monty ma'am asked me whether I am in WhatsApp, I said I am not, though I may lose certain things because I am not in WhatsApp. But I feel that it appears to be one of the time wasters. Sorry for my personal comment on this. In fact, I feel that many of us are not able to prioritize their activities because they are fond of seeing the WhatsApp every now and then, and it interferes with their daily schedule. And most of us suffer from sleeplessness, including children, and I guess it's because of over electronic stimulation. So somewhere I think we'll have to think about importance of time management. Self-analysis is over, self-motivation is over, self-management is over. Now comes the fourth aspect, empathy. I suppose you are able to see two individuals who are in communication, and empathy means to feel with. In fact, in psychology, there is one particular counseling called non-directive counseling, where empathy is the first principle. But over-empathizing will not do any good either for the individual who shows empathy and definitely for the person who receives empathy, because that will result in over-dependence, and also sometimes the person who shows empathy may get the problem of the person with whom the person is empathizing. So we always say you begin with empathy and change the gear from empathy to sympathy. Empathy is feeling with, sympathy is feeling for. But even sympathy will have to be changed to apathy. Within inverted commas, you feel away from the individual, because every individual is capable of being self-sufficient, and that self-sufficiency one can develop only when the person becomes independent. So from empathy to sympathy, from sympathy to within inverted commas apathy, and if only possible at superhuman level, we can operate telepathy through thought transmission. You can spread the environment with positive emotions. Don't we say at the end of prayer, Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu? So let the world be happy. Let the world experience comfort. So from empathy to telepathy, we can proceed. And definitely antipathy has to be avoided, except for untoward activities, particularly for college faculty members. When I say college faculty members in higher education and also in school education, some students scare the general public by football travel, dangerous football travel. That time, we should not show empathy or sympathy, and apathy is also not to be shown. That time, we have to show antipathy. We have to feel against. We should tell them that this is something which should not be repeated. So, antipathy is something which we should operate rather judiciously. Only for curbing untoward activities do we come out with the antipathy attitude. So this is something which we should remember as part of sincerity. Social skills, the last component. Every human being is a social animal. In Tamil we say, "Oru thanimaram thopagadu." So we need to socialize optimally with our own family members and with neighbors and in society in general. So antisocial activities should not be encouraged. Asocial behavior is more dangerous than antisocial behavior. As long as we are pro-social, well, definitely success is ensured, for which coordination, cooperation, and proper communication we should develop. So now it is 4 o'clock. My presentation is over. Thank you. We have 15 minutes for interaction. The ball is in your court.
Thank you, sir. That was a remarkable presentation. As you said in the beginning, a positive outcome on achievements of a set of desired goals after sincere efforts. I hope everyone will accept if I say today's session was more educative and very effective in the way we have learned a lot about the management of emotions. You also enlightened about the biological reaction that takes place due to emotions. And after listening to your lecture, sir, sure, we will try to manage our negative emotions and try to build as much as positive emotions. And we'll also try to avoid junk foods too, sir. Thank you. And now the floor is open for discussion.
Thank you,
Anyone?
Nirmala ma'am.
Thank you, sir. If anyone have any questions, kindly please.
So the same concept is useful even for financial planning.
Yes, Renuka ma'am. You please come out with your question.
Sir? Hello.
Hello.
Say smart principle
Ah,
applicable even planning.
your voice is breaking. I have opened the chat box, ma'am.
The
So
same
you can
smart
even type your question,
statement
and I will see the chat box, and I know I will come out with my response.
planning also, right? Yeah, I just checked it. Yes, sir.
In one word, yes, it is possible. It is possible for financial planning also. So you need to be specific for what purpose you are availing the loan, or you are going to earn and spend, and it must be measurable. The amount will have to be fixed, and it has to be attainable too, and you must be able to repay the loan, and it has to be realistic, and the most important one, it has to be time bound. In fact, do you know Tamil ma'am? Renuka ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
நாலு புருஷார்த்தங்கள் சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, தர்மம், அர்த்தம், காமம், மோட்சம், அறம், பொருள், இன்பம், வீடு. ஃபினான்ஸ்ன்றது பொருள் இல்லையா, எக்கானமி. அது வந்து அறத்தின் அடிப்படையில் வரணும். You should use the ethics for earning money, for spending money, and for saving money. If it is going to be unethical, definitely our financial position is bound to deteriorate from time to time. In course of time, the person will be flooded with lot of debts. So, for financial planning, one can meaningfully use the principle of SMART.
Yes, sir.
So, I just go on record with the chat box too. yes, it is possible for financial planning as well. Any other query? I think Arul Kanakaraj sir has asked, how can the faculty members increase their emotional intelligence? Arul sir, please follow the 5 principles. Analyze yourself, motivate yourself, manage yourself, and judiciously use the principle of empathy. As I told you, empathy, sympathy, apathy with inverted commas, and antipathy for antisocial activities. And if only possible, you can go for telepathy. And finally, it is the social skills which one will have to develop, for which cooperation, coordination, and communication skills we have to develop. So the faculty members can increase emotional intelligence by following these 5 steps. And one thing I should tell all of you is that gone are those days when we used to do research pertaining to our department alone. But my sincere advice, if not advice, definitely suggestion to you is that please rub your shoulders with all your colleagues across the departments and with the consent of the authorities across the institutions all over the globe, and go for transdisciplinary research. For transdisciplinary research, definitely coordination, cooperation, and communication are important. For NIRF and NAC, these are the criteria which they have, and I want Guru Nanak College to add a lot more feathers to its cap. Thereby, Madras University also will stand to gain. So, Arul sir, thank you very much for your question. I made full use of this question, and I have told all of you to go for transdisciplinary research. When you fly at the highest altitude, you do not know over which particular country you are flying. Similarly, when you contribute from your parent department and colleagues from other departments join the bandwagon, take up an issue and try to solve, come out with strategies so that the outcome will be more colorful than what you will do all alone in your department. Arul sir, to which department you belong?
Social work, sir.
Pardon?
Social work from Loyola College, sir. Already I met you, sir. Social work.
Okay, social work.
Yes, sir.
In fact, I wanted to tell all of you, I never headed the Department of Psychology, but I got a very rare opportunity to be the founder, head in charge of social work department in the University of Madras. When Professor Tandavan was the Vice Chancellor, he invited me to officiate as head of the Department of Social Work. So that way I get connected to you, Professor Arul.
Sir, what about the students, sir? What do you think? How can they, now the students are finding it very difficult, to come to this offline classes or exams. So what is the advice? I'm Jagadishwari from Guru Nanak College, sir. Please help us.
Yes, ma'am. The thing is, actually, it is always easier to be lazy than to be busy. And Corona has taught us many lessons. But one wrong lesson that Corona has taught us among so many is that, you can procrastinate. You can very well while away your time. Thanks to the curfew at home, you can very well keep yourself busy with all electronic gadgets, but not for the purpose of gaining anything academically. And also online examination has given them a lot of opportunities to go for certain things, though they may say that they are not indulging in any such activity, but it has promoted, within inverted commas, negative behavior. And all that we need to do is that we have to treat them in the first few weeks like KG students, just as how one LKG or pre-KG student would behave. These students will also behave in the college. Procrastination will definitely be there, and they will not cooperate with you. Just show them empathy and bring them under your control by proceeding from the known to the unknown. Jagadishwari ma'am?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Come out with positive stroke as and when it is necessary.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Welcome. 4 more minutes to go. Probably you can very well take down my email ID and you can come online. I definitely honor each and every query that you are going to raise through email, and I assure you quick response. Though I am not on WhatsApp, I regularly access my emails, so therefore you can raise all your queries, observations, etc. through email. Probably now I give the floor back to Madam Nirmala to go for the necessary formality, with which I think the session will come to an end exactly at 4:15.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for clarifying the doubts which was raised by the participants and also for your valuable suggestions. Thank you so much, sir. May I now invite Madam Ms. P. Jagadishwari from Department of English Literature, Shifted to propose a formal vote of thanks. Madam, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
On behalf of our management, I sincerely thank Dr. Vd Swaminathan, sir, for his thought-provoking session on emotions for success in career and life. Thank you, sir. My special thanks to our General Secretary and Correspondent, sir, our Principal, sir, Advisor, Madam, Vice Principal, Shift 1 and Shift 2, for your encouragement and support. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our Dean Academics, IQSC Coordinator, Dean of various schools, HODs of various departments, and faculty members from Guru Nanak College and other colleges for your active participation. Thank you all. Nirmala ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I thank each and every one of you who joined today, and I also request every one of you to take part in tomorrow's sessions too. Thank you all, and I request every one of you to just fill the feedback form which was placed in the chat box.
So I take leave of all of you. Respected Vice Principal, Madam.
Thank you, sir. It was very informative. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot. Malati ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so
Every one of you, I say bye-bye for now.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Actually, I'm Malati. I'm Malati, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, sir. It was very much informative and useful, and for everyone, they can get benefit out of your lecture. Definitely. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. And as I have promised, I think the session comes to an end just 1 minute before 4:50.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.